Alright, hey, what's up, guys? So, yeah, I decided to change the approach a little bit. I noticed that what I was doing last time or on my first video was taking way too long. So, like 7 hours per video, and now I didn't feel like making new videos simply because what happens? I know that if I start making a new video, it's gonna take 7 hours of my day, or maybe more because I like to step things up. So I'm gonna change the approach and just take very, very simple videos, unscripted, without any type of cutting, editing software, blah blah blah, and I'll just post it. Then whoever wants to watch it, hopefully you're learning something, or you can send me some feedback. I always appreciate feedback. If not, it's just gonna be a video for myself to Snapchat where I am right now in time with the company, with my lessons, the things I'm learning, the struggles I'm going through, the things that I'm seeing my team members going through, and I'll just be documenting the thoughts I have in regards, so that maybe if it's a problem that I'm having or my team is having that you're also having, then hopefully this helps you out as well. So now with today's video, I want to talk about something that really stops a lot of people on their tracks towards growth, and that is when if you started growing already and you started acting on something, whether it's a job or it's a hobby or it's a new adventure or it's a business or a sport or music or whatever it is, and you started growing already, there is a big wall that you're gonna hit every time, and it's not an external wall of someone else putting it in front of you, it's your own wall. So what do I mean by that? This is when you set up a personal limitation because you're doing things but you were expecting more from yourself, right? So what happens is, you set out to do 100 things but you do just 20. So you're pissed. You're seeing that as, oh my god, I just did 20% of the things I wanted to do and therefore I didn't do a good job, right? Because that's what we're usually taught. Like if you get 20 on an exam, it sucks, right? It really sucks. But what that's not showing is potential progress. Maybe you got 10 last time. Maybe you got 5 the time before. Or maybe the 20% that you got, it's still very useful. Maybe the 20% that you got is still the beginning of something more. Maybe next time you'll get 30 and then 40 and then 50 and then 50. But what happens a lot of times, or at least what used to happen to me, was I was seeing my unsuccess as the center to my failure. Instead, what was really stopping me on my tracks was actually focusing on that side of things. I was focusing on the 80% that I wasn't doing right instead of focusing on the 20% that I was doing right. And what happens when you do that is, it's a concept that is usually, people sometimes refer to it as, you see the glass half full, the glass half empty, and it really applies. But I like to use the concept of like yin and yang, because it really applies much more. It's like seeing the good side of things versus the bad side of things, but it's a choice. An example that I gave my co-founder, because he was struggling with the same problem a couple of days ago, and he's struggling with, there is things that he just can't do. It's outside of his control. And I told him, well, why aren't you just happy for the things that you can do? And you're okay with the fact that the things that you didn't do is because it's out of your control. You didn't get lazy, or you didn't do it because you didn't feel like doing. It's just because it's out of your control. A lot of times, even for me, most of the times, when I just can't do something because it's out of my control, because I haven't learned it already, or I haven't tried it already, or I've followed my intuition and my intuition was wrong and therefore I got the lesson but I hit a wall, well, I shouldn't focus on the bad side, because if I do focus on the bad side, it's a failure that I'm seeing. I look back and I see failure. I look back and I see something that I don't want to do it again, right? Instead, if I focus on the good side, okay, is there something in there that I should pat myself in the back for? Is there something in there that makes me want to say, you know what? There is a good side to it, And this is the example I gave my co-founder, which in my opinion is like a very impactful example. It makes a lot of sense. And I'm going to use an external person right now, but then I reapply it to your internal monologue, the monologue you're having with yourself. When you're speaking, when you're judging yourself, telling yourself, well, I didn't do a good job, maybe I should stop doing it, maybe this is too hard for me, or you just don't feel like doing things. So the example I made with my co-founder Franco was, well, what happens if you're trying a new job out, And for the first time ever, your new boss is asking you to build a skyscraper, right? He wants you to build a skyscraper, and it's your first time doing it, and you haven't done it before. And then what you do is, in 2 weeks, you build this monumental skyscraper. You put together all of these components. You're capable of doing things that you didn't even know how to do. You studied the right things. You did the right things. You put together the right pieces. And then the boss steps in and starts screaming at you. And he tells you, why are the decorations or the furniture? Why is the furniture not there? Not here? Why is this not? Why does this not look good? Why is this not painted? And he's focusing on the wrong things without even acknowledging the amount of work you put into learning how to put together the building. So what's gonna happen next time is you're not gonna want to feel like working for this boss. Maybe you will anyway, because maybe you need the money, but you're not gonna feel like working for this boss. And now where this hurts a lot is when you're your own boss, or you have your own business, or it's something you gotta self-motivate yourself at, whether it's a business or a sport or just feeling good. Like, that's also something you gotta motivate yourself at. It's a matter of, imagine yourself as that boss. How do you judge yourself? How do you judge the things that you've done? Are you seeing the wrong side of things, the bad side of things? Are you telling yourself that you suck because the furniture isn't there? Or are you looking behind and saying, well, I did a pretty good job on the building, right? I did a pretty good job on this. I did a pretty good job on that. The white side of things looks pretty impressive. The good side of what I did shows a lot of effort. I did everything I could to get it there. Or if I didn't do everything I could, because maybe you're not at that level yet, at least I did something, which is better than yesterday. Yesterday, I didn't even try. Today, I woke up and I tried. I gave it a shot, and it didn't work. That trying is still better than nothing. And if instead of focusing on what you didn't do and what you didn't achieve, instead you focus on what you did do, what you did try, what you did achieve, that's when you start looking at things as, well, I should be pretty proud of myself. And you pat yourself in the back. You tell yourself, you know what, Giulio? Great job. I really, really like what I just did. And what you can tell yourself, of course, you're not gonna talk to Giulio, but you're gonna talk to yourself and tell you, hey, X space blank, you. I did a really good job. I should be proud of myself. Even for losing, you should be proud of that. Even when you lose, and this is why. One quote I have, or something that I realized, is that winners lose. Losers don't even try to lose. So even losing is a good side. Even losing is that white side of things that you should be proud about. Even losing is something you should look back at and saying, I lost. At least I tried. At least I'm doing things that winners do. Winners try, winners lose. Losers don't try, and therefore they don't lose. Not because they're winners, because they're losers, because they don't try to lose. So with this quote, guys, I'm gonna stop the video for today. I'm trying to keep them under 10 minutes, at least for the first couple of chapters, and I'm gonna restructure it a little bit. And a lot of times what I'm gonna do, at least in the future, I'm gonna do cycles of repeating the same concepts that I'm explaining now, because I think that as I grow, I'm gonna be capable of just explaining them better. And as I explain them better and I get faster at editing, and I start finding more time in my day from my CEO position with Stocknack, I think that I'm gonna be able to actually revisit these videos, not only put them in different words, so that maybe you can understand some of these concepts better. Maybe you can relate more. Maybe you're gonna be more entertained by the video because there's cuts here and there and like cool graphics, and that's gonna help you more. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm just posting whatever comes to mind, whatever I feel like it's something that could have helped me out if it was a couple of years ago that maybe I learned recently. I like to speak about thoughts when they're very fresh in my head, but I'm gonna revisit these concepts. I'm gonna revisit them, tie them together to other things, maybe speak to other people, maybe start putting out podcasts with people I'm working with, people I'm connecting with my business, people I respect, people I learn from. And actually, I even want to take it a step further. I actually want to start talking and doing podcasts and interviewing not people that are successful, but rather people that are not. People that feel like they're missing what it takes to be successful, and maybe I can tell you something that helps you. And if I can't, maybe I know someone that can. And if they can't, maybe we give you an opinion, and maybe it's something that you shouldn't be working on if it's a business you're trying to work on, right? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I think it's a very powerful concept if you start applying it right. You know, you start patting yourself in the back, even just for trying, even just for losing, even just for doing 20%, and then you notice the growth. Maybe today you got 20% right, tomorrow you got 30. And instead of focusing on, oh, I still got 70% wrong, no, I got 30% right. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys, but I'll see you next week with my next video. Peace out.